Looks like it's working now.
Here we go. So let's answer these questions. For the function f of x. Now, which one's f of x? The black one or the red one?
Or the red one here?
The red one, right? I graph f of x. The black one, we're told up here in the directions, g of x is shown. That one's the black one right here. Okay? So for function f of x, the domain is what? What's the farthest left this graph goes?
Okay, -3, but doesn't this arrow mean it keeps going? So it's going to keep going up and to the left, up and to the left, up and to the left. So what's our farthest left we're going to go here?
Negative infinity.
And then what is this
arrow indicate?
And then what does this
arrow indicate? We're going to keep going up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right. All right, more like this.
So what's the farthest right we're going to go?
What's the farthest right we're going to go?
Positive infinity.
Positive infinity.
Okay, like that.
Okay, like that.
What about the range? That talks
about the range?
What values?
That talks about the what values?
Y values. What's the lowest Y value on our graph
What's
here?
the lowest Y value on our graph
right?
here?
So close parentheses.
-9. And we do get to it, right? So close parentheses. What's the highest Y value?
So we're not going to include it.
Going to say
infinity. So we're not going to include it.
We do have a lowest Y value, but we do not have a highest.
That's the highest it goes. We do have a lowest Y value, but we do not have a highest.
G of x. So now we're looking at the black one here.
Okay.
What's the farthest left our graph is going to go here?
So now we're looking at the black one here.
Okay. It's got
what's
the
the
arrow
farthest
going
left
down to the
our
left,
graph
so
is going to
go
go
to
here?
infinity again. Yep.
Okay, it's got
What's
the
the
arrow,
farthest
it's going
right?
down
This
into the
graph is
left,
gonna
so it's
go
going to go to negative
haircut
infinity
and
again.
Sierra.
Yep.
Now is not the time.
What's the farthest right this graph is going to go?
What's the farthest right we're going to go?
And Sierra, now
Positive infinity, that's right.
You need to be listening right now, okay?
So there's your
What's the
domain.
farthest right we're going to go?
And then finally, what is
positive
the range
infinity,
here?
that's
What's
right.
the lowest
Okay.
Y value that we get to?
So
is there a lowest Y value?
And then finally, what is the range
it's
here?
Keep going,
what's the lowest
negative
Y
infinity.
value that we get to?
And then what's
is
the
there a
highest
lowest
Y value?
It's going to keep going, right?
All the way
Negative
up to
infinity.
9.
And then what's the highest Y value here?
Sorry, so it should be
9, right? All the way up to 9. Oh, when we get to 9, sorry.
8 on its side.
Right.
8 on its side.
There you go. Your paper, 8 on its side.
Okay. So yeah, there's lots of infinities because parabolas have these arrows at the end.
Okay.
So that's why we have
so yeah, there's lots of infinities because parabolas have these arrows at the end.
Zeros at the point blank. Okay.
The function f of x has zeros at the point
Can I see the zero?
blank. Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
What's wrong with my graph here? Can I see the zeros?
More points? Okay.
Yeah, so we need more points here because my graph, I didn't graph enough points to show where it crosses the x-axis.
Yeah, so we need more points here because my graph, I didn't graph enough points to show where it crosses the x-axis.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. What'd you get?
So let me do a few more points here on my table.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. What'd you get?
Okay, so you should have gotten then like -5, 0, I think. For the other 0, I mean.
Okay, so you should have gotten then like -5, 0.
Okay, yep, perfect. And again, I'm just going to pick some more points here. So I did, let's see here, I did 0, so I'm going to go ahead and do 1, and then -5 here.
And again, I'm just going to pick some more points here. So I did, let's see here, I did 0, so I'm going to go ahead and do 1, and then -5 here. And again, you can check on your calculator as well, you'll see the zeros. But when you plug in 1, you're going to get 0. When you plug in -5, you get 0. So yeah, these are our zeros.
If you graph this on your graphing calculator, right, which I did here, there's the x squared plus 4x minus 5.
Now,
put it on my graphing calculator. If you go to the graph,
if you graph this on your graphing calculator, right, which
I
did here, there's the x squared plus 4x minus 5. I put it on my graphing calculator. If you go to the graph,
so
you can see the zeros. There they are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, -5, and there's
what's that?
1. Okay, so there are 2 zeros.
You need to charge your calculator. Yeah,
remember that you can also use the commands on your calculator.
So you can see there it is -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, -5.
Go to the calculate menu, and look,
so there are 2 zeros.
There's a command for
remember that you can also use the commands on your calculators to find the zeros. If you press second trace, you go to the calculate menu, and look, there's 0. There's a command for 0.
I'm going to use this. I'll do this 0 here.
Go down to 0, hit enter.
Go to the left of your 0, hit enter.
Now
it says go to the right.
You go to the left.
Hit enter, and then for the guess, go in close to the 0 there, and hit enter.
I'm going to use this. I'll do
and
this
there's
here
your
just to show you as an example.
-5.
Go to the left of your 0, hit enter. Now it says go to the right, hit enter, and then for the guess, go in close to the 0 there and hit enter. And then there's your 0, -5. Okay, that's a rounding error. You can ignore that.
What's the y-intercept of f of x? Where does it cross the x, or where does it cross the y-axis? At what value?
Okay, we'll hopefully get some practice of that here later today. We'll see. Okay. What's the y-intercept of f of x?
You were listening to her, though.
Where does it cross the x, or where does it cross the y-axis?
Letter
at what
D.
value?
Y-intercept is at what point?
Shh, Sierra. What's the y-intercept?
My red graph here,
You were
folks.
listening to her, though. You weren't listening to me. I'm jealous. All right. Letter D. Y-intercept is at what point? My red graph here, folks.
Okay, the x-coordinate of the y-intercept is 0. What's the y-coordinate? -5. Yeah, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So -5.
Okay,
right?
the x-coordinate
the
of
same thing
the
for
y-intercept
G.
is 0.
This
What's the
one's easier to
y-coordinate?
see, though. Where does G, the black
-5. Yeah,
graph
the y-intercept
here,
is
where
where
does
the
G
graph
have
crosses
at what
the
point?
y-axis. So -5, right? We're going to do the same thing
With
for
the
G.
black graph,
This one's
where
easier to
does
see,
G,
though.
the black
Where does
graph have
G,
zeros?
the black
black line
graph here, where does G have zeros? At
Where
what
does it have
points?
zeros. Okay, so 3, 0
Look
is
at the
the coordinate.
black graph.
3, 0.
Where does
Where else does
G,
it have
the
a zero?
black
So
graph
there's a
have
0.
zeros? The
Where
black
else does it have
line
zeros?
graph.
Yep, Jackson.
Where does it have zeros? Okay,
Yeah, one's
so
negative
3,
3,
0
0
is the coordinate. 3,
Exactly
0.
right.
Where else does it have a 0? So there's a 0.
Okay. And
else does it have
where does it
zeros?
have a y-intercept?
Yep, Jackson.
Again, the black graph, where does it cross the y-axis? At what point?
Yeah, the other one's -3, 0. Exactly
Go ahead,
right.
Jackson.
Okay.
0,
And
9.
where does it have a y-intercept?
Okay, 0, 9.
Again, the black graph, where does it cross the
Okay.
y-axis? At what point?
Letter F, the function f of x,
Go ahead, Jackson.
again, the red one now, does it have a
0,
maximum
9.
or a minimum point? The red one. Does
Okay,
it have a
0, 9.
maximum or minimum point?
Okay.
Minimum, lowest point, right there. Yeah,
Letter
the
F,
minimum.
the function
And what
f
is
of
that
x,
minimum
again, the red
value?
one now, does it have a
-9.
maximum or a minimum
Okay.
point?
Y
The red
equals
one.
-9.
Does it have a
If you like,
maximum
or
or a
just
minimum
-9.
point?
Okay. What about G? Does it have a
Minimum,
maximum
lowest
or a
point,
minimum?
right there. Yeah, it's a minimum.
Maximum.
And what is
right,
that minimum
okay.
value?
And what's its maximum value?
-9. Okay.
Y equals 9.
-9 if you like, or just -9.
Okay.
What about
Then
G?
finally
Does it
here,
have a maximum
one
or a
point
minimum?
the functions intersect at
Maximum.
is
Right. Okay.
blank.
And
Now,
what's its maximum value?
Kind of hard to see where these functions intersect.
Y equals 9.
Right? It's kind of hard to see these two functions intersect here.
Okay. Then
Right.
finally here,
Um,
one point the functions intersect at
I don't have
is
an easy way to do that.
blank.
Right.
Now,
We're going to ignore that
It's
one for
kinda
right
hard
now
to
because
see
I think
where
they
these
don't intersect
functions
at a nice
intersect.
point. So you can forget about letter H.
right, it's kind of hard to see where these two
Okay.
functions
Forget
intersect
about
here.
that one because they don't intersect at a nice
Right?
point.
Um,
All right, but there's all of our pieces.
and I don't
Questions
have
on
an easy
any
way
of
to do
that?
that. All right. We're going to ignore that one for right now because I think they don't
Yeah.
intersect at a nice
you
point.
may go now.
So you
Thank
can forget
you.
about letter H for right now. Okay.
No
Forget
questions
about
on
that
any
one,
of
'cause they don't
this?
intersect at
We're
a
all
nice
okay? Okay, we're going to do
there's
more
all our
graphing with
pieces.
quadratics today. We're going to be
Questions
graphing
on
them
any
in
of
a
that?
different form. Okay, a different form.
Question? Yes. Yes.
All right, you
go
can
now.
put
Thank
that
you for
way.
indicating.
Hold on to it, though, because it is...
No questions on
More
any of
warm-up
this?
for
We're
today.
all okay? Okay, we're going to do more graphing with
Take your homework out. Let's take a
today.
look at
We're
that.
gonna be graphing them in a different form. Okay,
Yes.
different form.
Maybe.
All right, you can put that away. Hold on to it, though, because
If you're getting it, that means it's a good thing. If you're not getting it still, that's a bad thing. Okay?
Take your homework out. Let's
We
take a
want
look
to
at
make
that.
sure you get it.
Yes.
I'm trying to zoom in here as best I can. I can't zoom in so much.
If you're getting it, that means it's a good thing. If you're not getting it still, that's a bad thing. Okay?
We want to make sure you get it. Okay? So again, we so far only really have...
I'm trying to zoom in here as best I can. I can only zoom in
graph
so
our
much,
quadratic.
unfortunately.
Okay, if we're doing it by hand, we identify A, B, and C in standard form here, right? So all we did was talk about standard form yesterday.
So again,
okay?
so far,
If we're doing it by hand, we're identifying
well,
A,
one
B,
or
and
two
C.
ways to graph our
We then come up with a
quadratics.
vertex
Okay, if we're doing it
using
by
negative
hand,
B over 2A, and then plug
we
that
identify
x coordinate
A, B,
in
and
to get the
C
matching
in
y
standard
coordinate.
form
We
here,
get our
right?
vertex,
So all we
-1,
talked
-9.
about
I put
yesterday.
into the middle
Okay.
of my table.
If we're doing it by hand, we're
Put some
identifying
other
A,
x
B, and
values
C.
below, -1,
We then come up with a
other x values above
vertex
-1, using negative B
okay,
over 2A,
plug them
in, and get your
and then
matching
plug
y
that
values
x
here.
coordinate in to get the matching y
All
coordinate.
right.
So we get our
Plot
vertex,
the point.
-1, -9. I put it into
There
the
it is.
middle of my
Oops,
table.
I guess I could have graphed
Pick some other
one
x
more there that I
values
didn't
below
graph.
-1. Pick some other x values above -1.
You can also use symmetry
okay,
too,
plug them in and get your matching y values here.
okay, to help you get those other
All right.
points.
Plot your points.
Actually, could have extended even more here.
There it is. Oops, I missed.
Okay.
I guess I could have graphed one more there that I didn't graph.
Identify the domain. We go
You
left
can also
and
use
right
symmetry
forever,
too.
with negative infinity to infinity. The range, the lowest y
to help
value
you get
negative
those other
9, all the way up
points.
to positive infinity.
So I actually could have
The
extended even more
vertex,
here.
-1, -9, right? We identified
Okay.
that earlier. The x-intercept, 2
Identify the
and
domain.
4,
We
-4,
go left
okay?
and right
If you
forever,
have
so
trouble
it's negative
identifying the
infinity to
x-intercept there, right? If
The
you can't quite
range, the
tell,
lowest y
maybe you
value is
didn't
-9,
extend your
all the way up
table
to
enough
positive
to be able to
infinity.
get the x-intercept.
The vertex,
You can use your
-1,
graphing calculator.
-9, right? We
Let me
identified
show
that
you.
earlier.
Okay?
The
Type the
X-intercepts,
function in.
2 and
X
4,
squared
negative
plus
4,
2
okay?
X
If
minus
you
8.
have trouble identifying the X-intercepts there,
Go
right?
to the
If you can't
graph.
quite tell, maybe you didn't
Sometimes
extend your
it's
table
so nice
enough
you
to
can
be
even
able to
count
get
it.
the
1, 2,
X-intercepts.
3, 4.
You can
There's
use your
negative
graphing
4 is one of
calculator.
your zeros.
Let me
1,
show you.
2. There's your other
Okay?
0.
Type the
If you
function
can't
in.
count it, or if you don't want to, you don't trust the
X
calculator,
squared
maybe you can
plus
press second
2x
trace
minus
and
8.
go to the 0
Okay?
command. Again,
Go to the graph.
go to the left
Sometimes
of your 0
it's
you
so
want to
nice
try
you
and
can even
find.
count it.
Go
1,
to the
2,
right of the
3,
0 you
4.
want to
There's
find,
negative
and then go
4 is
in
one of
to
your
guess
zeros.
and hit
1,
enter,
2.
and there it
There's
is.
your other 0.
Negative 4.
If you
Okay?
can't count it, or if you don't want to, you don't trust the calculator, maybe you
0
can press
command.
second trace and
Go
go
to
to
the
the
left
0
of this
command.
0 here.
Again,
Go to the right of it,
go
hit
to the
enter,
left
go into
of
guess,
your
hit
0 you
enter,
want to try and
2,
find.
0.
Go to the right of the 0 you want to find, and then go in to guess and hit enter, and there it is.
Okay, and I have a sheet
Okay?
for
If
people.
you want to find
if
the
you're
other
afraid you're gonna
0,
forget the directions and stuff like
use the
that.
0 command.
I don't. Miss Blooming gave
Go
it
to the
me, but
left
we make
of this
copies.
0 here. Go to
All
the
right.
right of it, hit enter. Go
Axis
into
of
guess,
symmetry,
hit
remember
enter.
that's just the x
2,
coordinate
0.
of your vertex. So -1. I kind of drew it in here. You can barely see it. It's dotted line though. Okay. And then
And I
finally,
have a
ask you
sheet
guys to
for
factor
people
it. This
if
is
you're
what we
afraid
practiced
you're
on
gonna forget
Thursday and
directions and stuff
Friday,
like
right?
that,
A times C.
I don't. Miss Blooming gave it to
Look
me,
for
but
two
we
numbers
make
that
copies.
multiply to that, but add to the 2.
All right.
Break it up. You get x plus 4x
Axis of
minus
symmetry,
2
remember
there
that's
and
just the
factor it.
x coordinate
Okay?
of your vertex. So negative
folks,
1. I kind of
if
drew
you
it in
didn't
here.
do
You
this
can barely
part,
see it. It's dotted
you
line.
need to be able to do this
Okay?
part too.
And then
right?
finally
Yes,
ask you guys to
graphing's important,
factor
but
it. This is
you
what we
also need to be
practiced
able
on
to answer
Thursday and
all these
Friday,
questions
right?
as
A
well.
times
Okay?
C.
That's the
Look
expectation.
for two numbers that
Right?
multiply to that,
And
but
then
add
here's
to the
number
2, break it up, you get
Again,
x plus 4x minus 2
identify
there
your
when
A,
you
your
factor
B, and
it.
your C.
Okay?
Find
So
the
folks,
vertex. I
if
did
you
that right
didn't do
here.
this part,
Negative B
you
over
need to
2A.
be able to do this part
Okay?
too, right? Yes,
And
graphing's
then
important, but
plug
you also
0
need
into
to be able to
the
answer
function,
all
you get
these
1.
questions
So
as
0,
well.
1 is your
Okay?
vertex.
That's
put
the
it in middle of your
expectation.
table,
All right?
2 below it,
And then here's
do
number
2 or
3.
3 above it there.
Again,
Okay?
identify your A, your B, and your C.
Graph.
Find
Okay,
the
and then answer all
vertex.
your
I did that right here. Negative
Okay,
B
go
over
up again.
2A. Okay?
Is that good?
And then plug
Okay.
0 into the function, you get your 1. So it's 0, 1 is your
All right.
vertex. Put it in the middle
So,
of your table.
domain's negative
Do
infinity to
2
infinity.
below it,
Range
do 2
here
or
is
3
negative
above
infinity
it
to
there.
1.
Okay?
Vertex
Find the
0,
Y
1.
values.
Maximum for the vertex there.
Okay,
X-intercepts
and
are
then
1,
answer your
negative 1. Axis symmetry is
Okay,
x
go
equals
up
0,
again.
and then factor it. Remember to put a 0 in here.
Okay?
A times C is negative 1. Again.
All right. So,
Factor by grouping,
domain's
et cetera,
negative infinity to
et cetera.
infinity. Range here is negative infinity to
Questions
1.
on the homework.
Vertex 0, 1. Maximum for the vertex there. X-intercepts are 1, negative 1. Axis symmetry is x equals 0. And then factor it. Remember to put a 0 in here.
Today, but it's not going to be from
A times C is negative 1. Again.
Make sure we're all okay with
Factor by
that.
grouping, etc.,
Any
etc.
questions before we move on?
Okay. Questions on the homework.
Okay. Today, graphing
Questions
feels
on
a
the
little bit
homework.
easier,
Anything
I
you still
think.
don't understand or
Little
aren't
bit
sure
easier,
about.
Okay. And it relates to today.
Okay.
So what we
We're
did
still going to be
yesterday.
graphing
So
today,
that's
but it's
good.
not going to be from standard
All
form.
right.
It's going to be from a different
So,
form. I just wanna make sure we're
then
all
I would like you guys to
okay
get your
with that.
Chromebooks out
Any
real quick
questions before we
here,
move
and I want to show you guys something. I want you to go to Desmos. Desmos, okay?
Today,
So
graphing should be a little bit
www.
easier, I think.
Dot
A little bit easier,
Desmos.
okay? And it relates to
Dot-
today, to what we
Ooh,
did
I'm not sure if
yesterday.
it's .com or .org. We'll
All right.
see here.
So, then I would like you guys to get your Chromebooks out real quick here.
I'm
and I
going to
wanna show
have
you
to
guys
cut the
something.
video
I want you to
short
go
here,
to
and I'll bring it back in for after the
Desmos,
activity,
okay?
okay? So, sorry,
So
video.
www.desmos. Ooh, I'm not sure if it's .com or .org. We'll see here. Okay.
I'm going to have to cut the video short here, and I'll bring it back in for after the activity, okay? So, sorry, video folk. Okay, so here we go. All right, let's re-summarize some of the things we talked about. All right, so again, yesterday we learned about standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, we use the a, the b, and the c to help us find the vertex. But now we come up with a form called vertex form where it gives us the vertex without any calculations. So let me say that again. This form, when you have a quadratic function given in this form, you are told what the vertex is without having to do any work. Okay, it's really nice. Okay, here it is. H and K, that is the vertex of the parabola. Okay, so you can literally just pull the number out, H and K, that gives you the coordinate for your vertex. Okay, just like when you do slope-intercept form and you look at the M, you look at the B, you know the slope and the Y-intercept of your line. Here, when it's when your quadratic is in vertex form, you can just pull out the vertex, easy.
How do you spell that, by the way?
Vertex,
No, not vertex, the other one.
parabola,
Yeah, parabola.
P-A-R-A-B-O-L-A, parabola. Okay? Now, of course, we know the vertex will be a maximum or minimum depending on A. And specifically, what is true? If A is greater than 0, what's going to be true? Will that vertex be a maximum or a minimum? If A is greater than 0, it's positive, so we're going to open up or open down. If A is greater than 0, we're going to open up or open down. We're going to open, if A is greater than 0, concave up. Concave up. So is it a minimum or a maximum? Minimum. Okay. If A is less than 0, okay, so now if A is less than 0, do we open up or open down? Concave down, right? So if A is less than 0, vertex is a, if we open down, if we're concave down, is the vertex a maximum or a minimum? Maximum, right? Maximum. Vertex is a maximum. Okay. All right, that also, right, we kind of talked about that here. If A is greater than 0, that's a positive number. The graph will open up, right? We just talked about that. If A is less than 0, which is a negative number, okay, graph will open down, okay, or concave up, concave down there if you like. Okay. As A gets bigger, what happened to our graph as A got bigger? Did it get more narrow or more wide? Narrow, right? So the graph will get more narrow. Whoops, I can't spell. Narrow. And as A gets closer to 0, the graph will get more wide. More wide or more wide. I guess I should just leave wide. Okay? So there's just, again, a refresh of what we talked about before. So let's talk about the steps then for graphing. Okay? So, step 1, plot the vertex. That's what we do in standard form too, right? We plot the vertex. Okay? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to put for the remember there. I'll find that out. Okay? It's just H and K. That's your vertex. Okay, that's all we're going to use. Okay? We're not going to use the quadratic pattern here. Forget about that. Step 2, instead we're just going to do make a table. Okay, and then 3, continue and connect your dots so your graph looks like a U. Okay? So step 1, plot the vertex. Bathroom. Yeah. Step 2, make a table. Step 3, continue and connect your dots so your graph looks like a U. Okay? So let's look at this here. Okay, first of all, number 1. Is this in standard form? No, because we don't have ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is not standard form. Is this in vertex form? Yes, it is. Again, vertex form, you can see it right up here. Okay, you have parentheses, x minus something squared plus k there, right? There it is. Okay. What is our h here? Look up here. There's h, there's k, right? What's h here? 3. Very good. Yes. Positive 3. Not negative 3, positive 3. Because to have the h, you need to have a minus in front of it. So minus h, minus 3, 3 is our h. What's our k here? Right? There's k. What's our k here? Negative. You were right the first time. Sorry, negative 4. Negative 4. Sorry, I didn't quite hear you right the first time, I think. Okay. 3, negative 4. I'm so old, I know. Okay? Oh, come on, man. They hung up on me. Or I hung up on them. Whoops. Okay. 3, negative 4. Plot the point. 3, negative 4. There it is. Okay. And then I'm going to make a table. I didn't leave myself very much space to make a table here. I'll squeeze it up here maybe. Let's see. You can use the quadratic pattern if you want to. Yes. Maybe you don't have to. Okay, so let me just make the table here. So I'll put 3, -4 in the middle of my table because that's, that's my vertex. I'll pick 2 points before that, so like 2 and 1. And then I'll also pick 2 points after that, so like 4 and then like 5. Okay? How can we find the matching y values here? What should I do? Plug in the x's and solve for the y's. I'm going to save us the time, though, because, I think we can probably do that okay. Let's just use the table on our graphing calculators, okay? So, clear out your y equals, and we'll type this into our graphing calculator. Make sure you use parentheses, x minus 3 squared minus 4. Okay, see I typed it in. Then I do second graph, and there's my table. Okay, let's see here. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, I get 0. 2, I'll get -3. 4, I get -3. And then 5, I get 0. Okay. So let's plot those points. Okay, I already got the vertex right there. 2, -3. 3, -4. Or sorry, 1, 0. There you go. 1, 0. 1, 0. Okay. 2, -3, 3, -4, 4, -3, and 5, 0. Okay. And then connect the dots and make your little parabola shape there. Okay, just like that. Alrighty. What's the domain here? What's the farthest left we go? Farthest left is -infinity. What's the farthest right we're going to go? Positive infinity. What's our lowest y value? -4. And we get there, so square bracket. What's our highest y value? Infinity. And so there's our answers. Oh, sorry, I'm off the screen. There we go. Okay. There it all is. Okay, you can see the zeros easily here. They're graphed, so 1 and 5 are our zeros. Okay, we don't quite have the y-intercept graph, but we could figure that out if we wanted to. Okay, so on and so forth. Questions on that? We'll do one more here, and then get you guys started on your assignment. Okay, we'll do this next one here. Yeah, because I want you guys to be able to practice it for yourself. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Shh. All right. Is this in vertex form? Yes. Okay. What's our vertex here? 1, 2. Exactly right. Very good. 3, 4. One, 2 is right, Sierra. Okay. So we're going to plot that point. 1, 2. Okay. Now, I got my vertex. I need to go to my table. I'm going to use another table here. Why do you know? Because we got a negative a value. Exactly right. Okay, very good. Very observant. That means it's going to be concave down here, which means this vertex is going to be a what? If we're concave down, right, like a frown, our vertex is going to be a maximum or minimum? Maximum, right? It's the highest point. All right, let's put that 1, 2 in the middle of my table. And then we'll put in a few more points here. Let's see, before 1 is like 0 and then -1. And then after 1 I can do like 2 and 3. Okay, again, to save time here, I'm just going to do this in my calculator. All right, you guys know how to do this. You would just plug the x's in, solve for the matching y value. But really, your calculator can do this much faster, so might as well use that, I guess. Negative parenthesis, x minus 1 squared plus 2. Okay, I got it. Whoops, let me see. I got all this stuff on the screen here at once. There we go. So I got to go back to -1. There it is. So -1 is -2. 0 is 1. 1 is 2. 2 is 1. And then 3 is -2. Okay. Have you guys noticed, by the way, that like when I have you fill out this table, that the 2 y values before show up again after, and the 2 y values before show up again after? That's that symmetry I was talking about showing up. Okay. So anyway, let's graph these points. -1, -2, 0, 1, 1, 2. We got it. 2, 1. And then 3, -2. Okay, and there's that shape that Kaylee was talking about. Okay. There's that shape. It is concave down, like a frown. Okay, what's the domain here? Negative infinity. Yep, farthest left we're going to go is negative infinity and to positive infinity. What's our lowest y value we get to? What's our lowest y value for the range here? Lowest y value. Yes, ma'am, because it's going to keep going, right? What's the highest y value we get to? 2, and we include it. Okay, there it is. All right. All right, so if you would please turn your papers over, and I want you to do numbers 1 and 2 for your homework. Okay, which I mean, once you work on right now, you have 10 minutes. You should be able to get it done if you use your calculator maybe even to help you. So 1 and 2 on the back, please. Yes. Okay, go ahead and do 1 and 2, please, on the back. 1 and 2, please, on the back. That's your homework if you don't finish it in class here. So please try 1 and 2. I'll come around and help as necessary. Okay, 1 and 2 for your homework. So go ahead and get to work, please. 1 and 2.